Hello, would you like to know how white refined sugar compares to cocaine, just like apples compare with apples? Then stay here for this video because this video is for you. Welcome back to Eating Sprouts. My name is Bliss van Amsterdam and today I'm going to talk about sugar again because it's an important topic, except that today I'm going to make the comparison between white refined sugars or any form of processed sugars and cocaine. And I know it may sound a little excessive, but I promise you by the end of this video you will understand that it's not excessive. They're both processed forms of natural plants that have been converted into a very addictive, very bad substance for the body, and the problem is that most people are not aware of how bad processed sugar is, and this is the reason why I want to make this video today. So let's start getting on the topic, okay? And let's start talking about cocaine, okay? Because we all know that cocaine is very bad for our body, and that is why it is illegal. And we probably don't know much about it, but let's face it, I come from South America, so I'm no stranger to cocaine. And I lived in Bolivia for some time, and so I got acquainted with the plant of coca. And it turns out that the plant of coca is a magnificent plant. It's a plant that is used for medicinal uses. In fact, in those altitudes, in the Andes, you actually need it. I'm not from the Andes, and I wasn't acquainted to those altitudes, so I actually needed. People drink it in tea and eat it or chew it, and they make other products like candies and things like that that help you breathe and stay at those altitudes without pretty much fainting or suffering. And that is why the coca tea has a lot of medicinal purposes when it's used the right way. But the truth of the matter is that cocaine is processed coca leaf. That is the truth. It's a process that turns a medicinal plant that is found in nature into this whitened powder that happens to be really bad for the body. So in other words, this is a plant that is processed into a highly refined, isolated, concentrated, chemically manipulated version of this plant, which results in this product that ends up creating a lot of imbalances in the body and all kinds of health problems, including the teeth and many other organs, if not every organ in the body. And this substance is illegal, and it should be illegal because it's very bad for us. We're not talking about the coca leaf, I'm talking about the processed cocaine, which is actually the illegal drug that we all hear about. Now the coca leaf, like I said, is a good plant, just like sugarcane or beets or even corn would be good plants. They also have medicinal purposes, they have nutritional values, those plants can actually be very good. But what happens? White refined sugar, or even worse, high fructose corn syrup, they're all some form of pharmaceutical sugar. These are sugars that were also a whitened, extracted, purified substance that came out of a healthy plant that turned into a white refined powder, which is also very bad for our body, that also creates all kinds of imbalances in the body and creates all kinds of health problems, including the teeth and I believe every organ in our body. So it's basically the same concept, the way it is processed from a natural plant and it's converted into a pharmaceutical form of that plant that, like I said, has been highly refined, isolated, concentrated and chemically manipulated into this substance. Both of them are highly addictive and both of them release beta endorphins in our bodies. Beta endorphins are those that actually make us feel this little rush of happiness or a burst of, make us feel good, that makes us feel high, and then we're unavoidably gonna start feeling down. And that is the same high of cocaine, is the same high of sugar. Sugar may seem harmless, but I guarantee you it's exactly the same high. That is why we can see foods like comfort foods that are high in sugar or that create that sugar high. It could be breads, could be macaroni and cheese, could be ice cream, could be any form of food that ultimately helps and releases beta endorphins in our body, which makes us feel good for a moment, but ultimately is actually making us more addicted. And the problem with sugar, as well as cocaine, is that as a drug, we become habituated to the effect, and ultimately we have to end up eating more and more to feel the same high. And it has happened to me with sugar, and that is why I am constantly trying to fight this addiction to sugar, just like an alcoholic would fight alcohol, just like a drug addict would fight perhaps cocaine and other drugs, because ultimately that's a natural feel-good opiate, morphine-like substance that makes us feel better when we're feeling down. The problem is that it makes us feel better for a little bit, but ultimately we're going to crash and The effects in the body are also very similar to cocaine. You will feel in the moment good and whatever for as long as it lasts. But the truth of the matter is that the next day and the week after, your body is going to feel tired, the organs are going to be suffering, everything is going to suffer, the skin, the eyes, the nervous system. Every single system, I believe, in the body is negatively affected by these two drugs. And yes, I just called sugar a drug because sugar is a drug. And we have to understand that concept. And just because we're giving it to children since they're babies doesn't mean that it's good. It is a drug, because sugar, or the natural form that it comes in the nature, comes in fruits predominantly, and that would be a healthy sugar because it comes with the fiber. It hasn't been processed, it hasn't been refined, it hasn't been isolated or concentrated or manipulated chemically in any way. You eat it directly and it comes with the fiber, so the body knows how to process it, and it comes in small amounts. But when you have something like high fructose corn syrup, it's very bad. That is perhaps the worst kind of sugar, even worse than white refined sugar, because it is being concentrated into its highest form. And the problem is that it is present in, I think, over 80% of the foods that are sold in the supermarkets in the United States have high fructose corn syrup, from pizza sauce, spaghetti sauce, candies, sodas, and all kinds of other products. You'll be surprised if you see in the back of the package how much it has high fructose corn syrup, and that is a big problem. And that's why I wanted to make this video today, because I have noticed that in all the countries in the world, and I travel quite a bit. Probably I'm not the biggest traveler in the world, but I travel quite a bit and I move around, and it's incredible to see how hard it is to stay away from processed sugar here in North America. In Canada, in the United States, or even Mexico, is filled with products that make you eat processed sugars. Other places too, South America, Europe, Asia, they also have it, but it's more controlled. You can have better control. It's just that in North America it becomes so difficult because that is what is available, and that is a problem. And when someone like me, who has understood the addiction to sugar, wants to do something about it, it's so hard to do it unless you take full control of your food. And that is why I am constantly battling this addiction to sugar. And I just wanted to make this short video to compare it to cocaine, because that's what it is. Sugar is even worse form of cocaine, because the truth is that they have made studies where they have seen the brain react to cocaine. And yes, it's like a big party when it gets in contact with cocaine. When it gets contact with sugar, the brain has like an even bigger party, and that proves that the brain loves sugar just as much as it would love cocaine, and it is even more addictive than cocaine, and that is a big problem. So I just wanted to open that door here today, not to alarm you in any way, but to kind of plant a seed and let you consider that sugar is a drug, and if you can do something about it, you will be doing a big thing. And consider this too. Apparently, it is not exactly the fat that makes you fat, because you can have good fats like avocado and chia seeds and many other good ones. It is the sugar that makes you fat, and that has been my problem, and I'm aware of it. I'm trying to fight this addiction, and it's so hard. Fortunately, the sprouts and other superfoods that are rich in nutrition have helped me lower significantly the amount of sugar intake. However, being in North America, whether it's Mexico or Canada or in the United States, makes it very hard to fight, because it's like you almost have no choice, and wherever you go, you're faced with it in breakfast, in the lunch, at dinner, and everywhere you go, somebody offers you something with sugar. And that is something I have to fight, and I'm going to continue making videos about this and talking about this, but I wanted to absolutely open this discussion about the comparison between white refined processed sugars and cocaine. Apples with apples. And with that said, I'm going to close this video today. I hope that you like it. If you did, give me a like so I can know that you actually liked the video. And if you have any questions, of course, just ask away. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now so you can get more information about this and many more topics that are good for your health and help you fight this addiction to sugar, and how to eat healthy and have a healthier life. And with that, my name is Bliss Venancio, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.